know that if we were to stop talking, which is not likely, and ask you to give us a list of things that you desire, we know that you could. We know that you could give us a list of things that you desire. We also know that you are wanting more practice in being a vibrational match to those things. So when you started out by talking about how this breakup, which was painful to you, set you off on a spiritual quest or a spiritual journey, we know that what you mean by that is that you want to do a more deliberate job of offering your vibration in the direction of what you want instead of in the vibration of what you've got. The thing that we want to say to all of you in a way that you can hear it as if volume would make a difference, it doesn't, is that if you could get to this place in a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or a month or 2 or 3 or 4, 3 months, 3 months. If you could for 3 months set the subject of relationship aside, the subject of relationship with another human aside, and if you could focus only upon your mood and attitude about all other subjects, so that you could enhance the relationship that you already have with your inner being. You're such a sensitive person, and that's such a good thing. But the reason that you would describe yourself as sensitive is because you hurt yourself often with your own thoughts about things. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. It only matters what you think about what you think they're thinking about. You're the only one who can plunk those trains in opposition, you see. So we want to pronounce to you in a very bold and loud way, nothing's gone wrong. Nothing went wrong except you had a clarifying experience, because things are always working out for you. We wanted to jump in the opening words that you were offering and say to you, this is the best thing that has ever happened to you, because moving down that road was going against so many things that we know are in your vortex. Your inner being is not going to encourage you toward a relationship of any kind, whether it's a very fast one or a very long one, that is not in vibrational harmony with who you really are and what you really want. But you know what happens? Sometimes absence of a relationship makes you think that presence of any relationship is a good thing. And that's just not true. Did you hear what we said? Well, we'll tell you what we really mean. You think, oh, any relationship's better than no relationship. Any relationship is not better than no relationship, because in the absence of another person, you might have an opportunity to form a conscious, deliberate relationship, meaning mood and attitude and vibrational alignment with your own inner being. And when you line up, with who you really are, it is our promise to you that in that absence of resistance, the person that you are looking for is going to come into your experience with such swiftness and such clarity. And as you meet this person, there will be no question in either of your minds. You won't be playing those games. You won't be testing each other. You won't be dragging up the past. You won't be trying to get somebody to make promises that they're not ready to make. They will already have gestated, and they will already be at the point of alignment for you, you see. Do you understand how this vibrational reality works? With everything that you've been living, and it's been enough. We're not saying that you need more data to collect in order to create the perfect relationship. You've already created it, and that relationship exists in your vibrational reality. But you are nowhere near, and we don't want to be harsh, because almost everybody, we would be saying the same thing to them about so many things that they want. You're nowhere near being a vibrational match to what you want. You are so often not a vibrational match to what you want. And then what you don't want, which you are a vibrational match to, keeps coming. Do you know most people are more of a vibrational match to doubt in relationships than they are to living happily ever after? And so you get some of what you want and some of what you don't want, and some of what you want and some of what you don't want. And then you say, you need to be different, because I'm getting some of what I want and some of what I don't want. I need somebody who'll just give me what I want, but I keep getting what I want and what I don't want. So you need to be different. And we say, nobody can be different than what you're outputting. Nobody can be different than what you're outputting. If you want them to clean up their act, you got to clean up your act first. You've got to be a vibrational match, which means you can't harbor thoughts of doubt. You can't worry about those things you're worrying about and then try to get somebody else to promise you that they won't do those things that you're worried about. It never works. When you're really worried about something, you're going to attract the very person who's most likely to do that thing that you're worried about. And then you say, I knew it. I knew it. I could feel it all along. And we say, of course you could. Of course you could feel it all along, you see. So when someone moves away from you, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, because it means that what's going on in your vortex and what you really want isn't a vibrational match. So just accept things are always working out for me. And this is one of the best things that has ever happened to me, because it gave me clarity about this and about this and about this. And then tell your general story about relationships in a way that pleases you, and and this is the hard part, but you can do it, let your conversation with yourself about what's coming and the joy that you know you're going to live when it does come, let that hold you for 3 months while you clean up your vibration, and then watch what happens. There are 2 important things that we want to say to you. Yes, what you said about not wanting to count on someone else for the way you feel. Most people are living a very conditional experience. So if something that they consider to be wonderful is happening, they feel wonderful. But if something happens that feels disappointed, like not being able to control the desire of another person, then sometimes it feels like you don't have control over the way you feel. And certainly that's natural. We're going to sort that out in just a minute. But we don't want you to jump there so quickly, because it's an important process to have experiences in order to really ascertain what it is that you do want. Because while we know you all believe that you are ready right now to make a very clear statement of desire about many, many things, you could say, we know you believe it, that I know exactly how much money I want to make. We know that you believe that. We also know that your life experience is going to continue to expand, and that right now you don't know what you're going to want forevermore. You don't know where you're going to want to live forevermore. You only know from where you stand what you think would be an improvement to where you are. You are such evolving beings. The whole nature of evolution is about being where you are, and from where you are, getting a new vantage point. So we're going to give it to you just like this. Here you are standing, sifting and sorting, and a rocket of desire shoots out of you. And the rocket of desire feels weird in the beginning because you're not used to it. But then you sort of play the games that we ask you to play, and you do the processes we ask you to process, and you manage to become a vibrational match to this desire, which felt weird just a little bit ago. And now, a vibrational match to it. Now what you want comes to full fruition because you've managed to think about it. And now along with that manifestation comes a whole new set of contrasting experiences that causes you to launch another rocket of desire. This is especially true relative to relationships, especially true relative to those significant relationships. Sometimes you've lived something that has been absence of something that you really wanted, so you launched a strong rocket of desire, and that rocket of desire is disproportionate to other things that matter too. But it's extra inflamed because this relationship caused it to be inflamed. So you're asking in such a strong way, we might even say in a lopsided way, that now you're like that bus that Esther and Jerry were driving down the road, dragging something along behind. That desire is so strong that then law of attraction brings you something that satisfies that desire. So you settle into that relationship and it feels so good. But then life shows you that while that one thing is being satisfied, that there are other things that are important to you too. And you launch those rockets of desires. And so it takes a lot of exposure to life and exposure to experiences in order for you to create this wonderful desire, this vibrational desire. We called it a vibrational reality. We called it the vortex of creation. This launching of these rockets, it takes a lot of experience because words don't teach. You could sit with your mother or with a mentor and they could say, from my experience, this is what you want in a mate. Here's the list. Took me years to come to this conclusion, and a lot of it after I was unhappily married for 30 years, they'll tell you. But this is the list that you want. Here's the list of things you want. You would not let anybody give you that list. It's only life experience that gives you that list. But we want you to know it's not acquiring the list that keeps you from living happily ever after earlier in your life experience. It's not being a vibrational match to the list that you've gathered. We want you to realize that you want someone who is nice, someone who's considerate, someone who cares about you, someone who cares about himself also. You want someone who is easy to be with. You want someone who's energetic and alive. You want someone who gets up and greets the day happily. You want someone who rises easily to feeling good. You want someone who is critical hardly ever at all. You don't want someone who's a doormat. You don't want someone who will do anything that you ask them to do. You want someone who's a thinking person. You want someone who's had some life experience. You want someone who's eager about life. You want someone who dresses well and who likes money and who likes nice things and who drives a nice car. There are lots of things that over lifetime you have gathered, but most of all, you want someone who is intuitive enough to know when they are in alignment and when they are not in alignment. You want someone who understands that they create their own reality and who is willing to take responsibility for their own. You've created a really good list of things that you want, but you are like so many people. You are often not a vibrational match to your own list. So since you've got a mixed bag of vibrations going on, your attraction power is not clean yet. It's not in pure vibrational alignment with what you want, because you put an engine going this way and 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 an engine going this way. So you've got this vibrational point of attraction going, and of course what you are attracting right now has some of what you want and some of what you don't want, some of what you want in absence of some of what you want. So what we're saying to you, we would not encourage you to want that relationship to turn around when you are still in the process of defining what it is you really want in a relationship. So there was a shift in your expectation is a wonderful concept, because expectation is the marriage between desire and belief. In fact, we could say you get what you expect. It's accurate to say you get what you believe, but it's more poignant to say you get what you expect. So if you want something and you don't expect it, it doesn't come about. But that's why after you've had the experience, quite often somebody who's sat in this hot seat before can come again and again and again and again and again, because they just expect to be there. They know they're going to have a good dialogue and they just expect to be there. And so their expectation equals their point of attraction. You think Abraham is choosing you. You're choosing you. You're choosing you. You're choosing you. We're just the cooperative component. It's the way it is with everything. Everything is that way. There's nothing that is arbitrarily or in some sort of control dictating what happens in your life experience. It's only you. You choose it all. But a lot of times you're not choosing it deliberately. That's why we're talking about these tools that you can use so that you can choose in ways that are more satisfying to you. So you are not puppets on a string. You are co-creators. And there is knowledge of how things work that is deep in the DNA, if you want to call it that, of your inner being. And so here you are out here, little chicks, digging things up and moving through life and coming to new desires and putting desires in the vortex that your inner being then knows about. And as you create a problem, you also create a solution which your inner being focuses upon and then gives you real-time information about how to turn that new thought, so new that it's not even a thought, it's still a vibration, that vibration to a thought and that thought to a thing. Your inner being immediately knows all of that and is feeding that to you real-time. And if you're tuned in, you get the impulse and you know what to do. You don't have to get it from a book. You don't have to go to some sort of school to learn how to satisfy your own quests in life experience, you see. Do you like that story?